Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got some special guests on the line.
Yes, indeed.
We have Taraji P. Henson and the birthday girl, Tracie J.
Hey, happy born day, Queen Tracie.
Hey, guys.
What are you doing for your birthday, first and foremost? Because the pandemic is pretty much a little over, so you can go outside now. So what are you doing for your birthday?
Boo, 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 boo. I'm happy with the staying inside part.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that it's
I
over.
got that.
I'm happy with
We got plans.
See, that's the fire.
I got that.
You got that?
Don't worry. No one's staying inside.
Yeah, Tracie, you got to go somewhere with that hair looking as good as it does right
Come
now.
on, right?
Oh, you noticed something?
I was like, your hair looks cute.
You've been getting so many compliments. That's the look right there.
I think we may have found something for the moment.
Girl. You're going to keep it for about 2 weeks and then it'll be something else.
Over it.
How are y'all, though? How are the both of y'all?
Great.
Good. How you guys doing? Shar, I see you with the mental wealth piece coming on up. I'm excited to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, this Sunday, World Mental Health Day. We're doing it at the Marriott Marquis Times Square from 11 to 4. A day of mental health education and healing.
Yes. And
I'll be
congratulations
there.
on the show. Oh, yeah, you are going.
Yes,
I'm
Tracie
on the
will be
panel.
there.
I'm on
Tracie
the panel.
Tracie will be speaking on the Black Women's panel. We're happy to have you, Tracie. Thank you very much.
And
Blessings.
congrats on the show.
Thank you, Queen. Appreciate
Yes.
it. Appreciate it. Thank you. And y'all coming back on Monday, October 11th with Peace of Mind.
Yes. Yes, we got to continue helping us all heal, you know.
For people that don't know about
effort.
it, break down what it is, and so people will understand.
Peace of Mind is a talk show where we address different issues dealing with mental health, where we will interview a celebrity because, you know, fans think that just because we are celebrities and we have money, somehow all of our problems go away. So we show them that, yes, everyone is struggling. You are not alone, even celebrities. Then we interview a regular person, everyday civilian, who is suffering with the same maybe mental condition, whether it's social anxiety, whether it's depression, whether it's ADHD. We all have something, right? And so then we have the third segment of the show is where we bring a professional in, a psychiatrist, a clinician, a therapist, to help us understand the topic we're talking about, to give us tools to know what to do when we are feeling the way, or those who may be suffering or can identify with the subject matter that we're dealing with. So it's an educational show. It's a show where we laugh, we cry, and we're also trying to show that actually this is what a therapy session looks like. You know, you in a safe space, you talk about the things that are bugging you or that are keeping you down, and you have a professional there to help guide you through it. And you laugh, you cry, and it's really not as scary as you think.
Absolutely.
I see some fascinating guests that you guys have on. I saw the trailer for the new season, and I was just in my head trying to figure out, like, Chloe Bailey. I can imagine it's tough for her. You know, her and her sister have separated their Instagram pages. She's put out some amazing music and videos, but then at the same time, all these people are coming at her now because they're still picturing what she was like when she was younger. And so I know things like that have to be difficult. And sometimes people don't look at artists as human beings that have feelings too.
That part. And I think that's another aspect of the show where they get to see some of their favorites be human, because that's what we are. At the end of the day, millions just happen to get to see us go to work and see what we do. But at the end of the day, we have feelings. It's a real person behind all of the flashing lights.
How therapeutic has the show been for you? You both.
I was just saying earlier that this, for us, it's like we're going to therapy every day. So it's been such a gift in that way, where I don't have to go to my therapist as often as I used to, because, you know, the show has sort of filled in that space for me. So to be able to talk about your own personal challenges, connect with others there who might have the same challenges with you, and then have somebody there to stop all of our bantering back and forth and say, okay, that's nice. I hear you. You want to help each other, but here are the tools you need. And Taraji and I have been going through this for 38 years, having these conversations. And sometimes what we have to say is helpful to each other, and sometimes it might not be. So to be able to step back and say, you my boo, and we got each other, but let me go over here and talk to,
Right.
She's going to have a more objective point of view.
I think it's so important.
It's been really good.
I think it's also important right now in particular for people to have empathy towards others, because everyone is going through so much and we have no idea what's happening in other people's lives. And sometimes you just have to step back and take it out of, okay, this isn't something personal against me. This person might be going through something on their own. And so I do feel like things like this are really helpful, because I've seen people just not acting like themselves. And you have to not take it personally at times and be like, okay, let me be a little bit empathetic and see what's happening in this person's life. So is that something you've had to do with people around you?
Make space for grace. That's my motto. Make space for grace, even for ourselves.
And I think as you delve into these different episodes, everyone can identify with someone that has the same characteristics of someone that might be suffering with the subject matter we deal with, like ADHD or whatever, or social anxiety. Someone might be, oh, that's why Bob doesn't ever go out. I understand. See, and so the more we understand human nature, the more empathy we develop, right? When you can understand someone acting out in traffic, or cutting you off, stop making everything about you. Maybe that person just found out somebody died in their family and they're just not there. But, until you deal with what is going on inside of you and your traumas, you're always going to be ready to pop off, and you won't have space for grace because you're not giving yourself any grace.
Right. I was going to ask, how difficult is it to get some of these people that you're interviewing to open up? Is it very difficult? Because a lot of times some of these people never spoke to a therapist before, so you guys might be the first time that they're really opening up. So is that difficult?
No, we have a lot of guests come on and they talk about how comfortable they feel, because we are both in therapy. We're not professionals, but we understand us. We understand our culture. We understand our people. And we know in order for any Black person to open up to anybody, they have to feel safe and they have to know who they talking to is real. It's not like you're not fake. You don't have no other objective. We're not a show where we're baiting for numbers. We don't push people to tears or things. Like everything on our show pretty much happens organically. We, of course, set the questions up. We make them feel very safe, and they just open up because we're opening up.
Yeah.
I was also going to ask, with so much going on in the world, do you ever fear that people will use mental health as an excuse? Because they can say, hey, I wasn't mentally right, meaning they just lied, or I wasn't mentally in my right place, meaning they just wanted to do something. Are y'all ever nervous about that at all?
I'm not nervous about. I'm not, because people have been trying to do that forever. People try to beat murder cases. I was crazy. I lost my mind for a split second. So again, you can see through that. They're professionals. That's why they have these therapists and psychiatrists who will evaluate people to see if they're telling the truth.
Now, another aspect.
Less of that too, because people will be educated now. So we know what we're looking at. You can't just run a game on people the way you used to, because now people are like, ADHD, I thought that was, these symptoms, or bipolar, I thought that was that. So it's not so easy to just throw these terms around and have people believe whatever you say about it.
And see, before when we didn't talk about it as much, you could. Because nobody knew. They were like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's what I was going to ask y'all. Don't y'all think because so many people are having the conversation about their different mental health issues now, that is creating more safe spaces for more people to talk and have these conversations and admit that there's something wrong?
Absolutely. I'm seeing more people come to the forefront and share. And I think it's because finally they don't feel alone. It's not a big secret anymore. It's not anything to be ashamed of, because again, your brain operates and functions your entire body. So to neglect it is neglecting everything else.
Now, when it comes to something topical, we were discussing this, right? How social media has been affecting people. I'm sure you guys have been watching what's been happening in the news. How often would you say social media comes up in these conversations?
A lot. A lot.
Yeah.
It's a way of life now. People were so thrown and shook because Instagram was shut down. I forgot it was back up. I kind of liked it. I was like, oh, it ain't working. Okay, it gave me a reason to click off, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, but again, you know, I wasn't raised on it. It's not in my DNA. It's something I had to learn because of what I do for a living, you know? But yeah, that is definitely weighing, because I know when I'm on it too much, it affects me. And I'm a grown woman. Grown woman.
What are some things you would advise? What are some things you would advise the younger generation then when it comes to making sure that they stay mentally strong when it comes to social media?
Go for a walk and put the phone down sometimes. Like, put that in your schedule. Like, for this hour, give yourself time. Put yourself on the schedule. Like, I'm going to do social media for this amount of time, this day, and stick to it. Hold yourself to it. Go for it. Read a book. Read a book instead of scrolling. I don't know.
Yeah, good luck with that. Lord help us with that part. But I would also say that, you know, if we're honest, the kids are not just going to hop off social media.
No, they're not.
Whatever. It's an addiction at this point. So if we can flip it and have them be addicted to the good piece of this, right? And ask themselves the question, every time you scroll past something that feels bad in your body, like it makes you feel sad or want, you know, angry or whatever, self-critical, ask yourself what else could be true.
Ooh.
You know, so you see that terrible thing, stop one moment and ask yourself, what else could be true? I could be beautiful, you know, I could be intelligent, I could be strong, I could be powerful, as opposed to, you know, all of those terrible ads that they're running and all this terrible violence that they see. What else could be true? I see a community that's going to thrive. I see a community that's going to be, let me go do my part. So I just give them some tools to move out of those spaces that locks them in, you know?
Or I would say if something triggers you, put the phone down. Don't abuse yourself. It's so, look, we can spin and spin on this. It's a monster that is out of our control.
That's right. And we're all in we're all in verbally abusive relationships with our smartphones at this point.
I mean, you know, because I could be having a great day and I know better. Again, I'm grown, right? I know better than to read the comments. But I do it sometimes. You know what I mean? I'll go, just part of me just wants to go.
That's like addiction. You know,
it's definitely an addiction.
Or whatever, but you don't do it, you're addicted.
Right.
So it's working the addiction part, the behavior. Shut up, Char. What you laughing at?
No, it's true though, because it's like we're all in verbally abusive relationships with our smartphones. Like, we know it's a lot of negativity there, but we cannot help but go indulge in it. It's wild.
Yeah, we got to get to the behavior part. We know, right? We got to get to what is leading us to having to pick up the damn phone and see the thing, say something horrible to me today. What's leading me to that? There's something in there. Therapy.
Yeah. It's just human nature. As humans, we are so jaded that we're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Always. That's how we move through life, especially Black people.
I wanted to ask you, Tracie, because, you know, you've been watching your sister Taraji go through it as a star for years, and you know the BS that comes with fame. So how has it been giving up some of your peace by being in front of the camera?
I don't think that I'm so happy that I got to therapy before, you know, all this happened, right? Because I understand what, you know, smoke and mirrors look like. I understand what's real and what ain't. I know the camera shuts off at, you know, 5 o'clock. And I got to go back to my life as it was. I never leave my life. I'm constantly practicing to be in the present, Shar, and you know about that. Because if I get too far ahead, I'm thinking about all the horrible things that can happen, or I'm behind the thought, all the things that happened 5 minutes ago that were horrible. So my present is so effed up. I just try to stay in gratitude, you know, all that other fame and blah, 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 that never, ever meant anything to me, especially watching my BFF go through this last 25 years of it. I'm like, yeah, okay. Are we healthy?
You know, I could give a fuck about fame.
Oh, it's early in the morning.
I'm sorry.
Now, when it comes
that was so visceral, that just flew out of my, I didn't even have a chance to catch it.
But you super famous though, Taraji. So how do you still stay grounded?
I know, but I don't work for that. That's not what I work for. I don't work to be famous. That's empty to me. God has given me the mic. I know so many talented people that are not in this position. So I'm very clear on why I was chosen. I understand the assignment. So I don't work for trophies. I don't work for accolades. I work because I'm an artist in my core. So, you know, I'm looking for material that's going to challenge me and change me and transform me, because in my transformation, the audience or somebody out there will be transformed. You know, I'm an artist, so I don't work. You talking to a kid. I was a kid, me and Tracie doing fucking, I'm sorry. I get passionate.
Good morning.
Doing street theater out in the street, you know. That's what we would do, because that's how committed I am to this thing called acting, this craft. I love it. It's in my DNA. So I don't work. That fame thing gives me anxiety. That's the part that will keep me in my house for 3 days, because I just want to go get bananas. I don't want to be judged because I didn't have this on and I didn't. I'm just buying bananas. I'm just trying to go get groceries for my smoothie. But I'm going to be judged on my appearance. You know, it's so much. So, yeah, that part is not what I do this for.
Now, when it comes to resources, you guys also do point people in the right direction, right? As far as...
Oh, yes, absolutely. We always on the show have a segment and we say, if you're struggling, please go to the BorisLHenson.org Foundation to get help. We have therapists, clinicians, psychiatrists on set in case someone goes too far and they need help right away. For us, you know, for anybody that gets triggered, because a lot of times the crew get triggered by the subject matter we're dealing with.
And so do we. You know,
absolutely.
We'll get right in the middle of a conversation and be like, I feel the thing. It's rising. I'm sweating that could be menopause too. But I feel the anxiety happening, you know, and we just we go with it because we have the tools. But I imagine people at home who don't know what the hell to do once they hear or see something. So we definitely need to direct them to the sources, BorisLHensonFoundation.org. And there's so many other amazing organizations out there, Black Therapy for girls, for men. So yeah, jump in there, do your research and get help. It's okay.
And y'all have the free virtual therapy program too through the Boris P. Henson Foundation, right?
Yes, and we're also giving out scholarships to children of color seeking to, study in the field of mental health. So, because we need more of us.
How can people get more information about that? Do you have the site?
Yes, Tracie, take it away.
BorisLHensonFoundation.org. You go on, you can click on resources. It's really easy to navigate. If you need a therapist, click on free therapy or our directory, and you can get some culturally competent therapists, because we know we need that punch soon. We're here for you. We get it. We get that folk need the support. So we're offering that. Take advantage of it.
Now, when we're talking about this new season of Peace of Mind, right, where there's some moments that you guys were like shocked by as well, because I'm sure, like you said, people are comfortable. They're coming in there knowing you're not trying to get an aha moment, but you have some amazing guests this season. So were there times that you were like, I can't believe this is happening?
Herbal sticks out in my mind. That young man, I mean, please watch the show. Watch his episode. I hope so many young brothers watch that episode because, I mean, I'll never forget this. My son, loves rap music, of course. And when he started really getting into it, he was listening to the rappers coming out of Chicago. And I told Herbal that, just listening to his experience growing up around all that violence. And he said, Mom, the rappers in Chicago rap from a different sphere. Like, I feel their pain. I be pounding my chest because I can feel their pain. He said, and the sad part about it is that they're really superstars, but because of what they've been going through, they'll probably never reach that success because of their environment. And this kid had never been to Chicago at this point. I wasn't filming Cookie. This is what he felt through the music, through the messages. And then when I really sat down and got to know G Herbal, I understood exactly what my son meant by that. Thank God G Herbal made it out. But he talks about all the he said he could name what, Tracie, about 100 of his colleagues that he know that has died.
Yeah. It's troubling because his story is the norm for our kids.
That part.
So I'm watching New York right now, where they had the 21 kids under 18 who died by gun violence.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn and all over. And that blueprint is traveling through every one of our cities right now. And it's scary as hell.
Because they don't care. I heard G Herbal said out of his mouth, there was a point in his life where he didn't care if he lived or died. You're talking about children who have their whole lives to look forward to, not giving a shit about anything.
Yeah, I love.
And I just wonder. Go ahead.
Oh, and I was gonna say I love G Herbal because he's 25 years old, man, and I wish that I had the tools and the resources and the information in regard to mental health at that young age. So I love the fact that he's so vocal about what he goes through.
I love it too. I mean, I have such a respect for that young man. Like. That to me was my most special episode because I have a love for Black men just so deep because I just understand our struggles as a people and what is put upon the Black man and what you always gotta be strong and this and that and the third. And because I have a son, I'm a mother, you know, and just I saw so many men in my life that I love in this young man, my father, my son, all the men I chose to love. That episode is so important. He's so important.
Yeah. And I think if we all, those of us who are in a position to, if we all just took one young man, you see them walking down to the corner store, you see them not, showing up places to the job interview, whatever. If we could all just take one, and I know that sounds really like, I don't know, a thought that is impossible. Like I don't have time or I'm scared or whatever it is. But I am looking in the eyes right now of a young man that I love so deeply, and he's in the middle of this stuff. And he may be watching right now or not, but I love him so deeply. I'm willing to do anything to offer him just a moment of an opportunity. I don't know what he's missing. I don't know what his heart. He just lost his best friend. His best friend was murdered 3 nights ago. And I know he's suffering. He's young. He's a teenager. And I can't give up on him. He's out in the streets. He's confused. The goddamn weed is going crazy. You know what it is. They get hooked, all that crazy stuff. But I will not.
This weed is something different. This weed ain't no herb. Right. This ain't no herb.
It ain't from the
This
earth.
ain't no reaper.
Yeah, it ain't from the earth.
This ain't no reaper. I don't know what they doing with this shit, but it ain't right.
It's messing our babies up, man. Pay attention to the weed.
They're telling us you guys have to rap because you have
don't even smell the same. You know what? We need to change the narrative. Where are the seeds? Where are the sticks?
Taraji said don't even smell the same.
Taraji said she wanted organic. She don't want that GMO stuff.
No, we need seeds. We need seeds and sticks.
Well, they say real.
Snoop, I'm gonna call Snoop.
Taraji P. Henson, we appreciate you for joining us. Tracie J, thank you so much.
Make sure y'all
Tracie,
watch.
We'll see you Sunday.
Make sure y'all go to Facebook Watch and check out Peace of Mind on Monday, October 11th, and check Tracie Jade out at the Mental Wealth Expo this Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square. It's free and open to the public.
All righty. Well, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
for joining us.
Thank you, Taraji. Thank you, Tracie.
Happy birthday.
Love y'all so much, guys.